So what is silver? So silver is a natural element. It's number 47 on the periodic table. 80% of silver is produced as a byproduct of refining copper, gold, lead, and zinc. It's rarely found in its native form called native silver. And the largest nugget ever found came from Mexico and weighed in at 2,750 pounds. So where does silver come from? Well, it's a hard rock mining process. The miners are under the ground, following a vein and trying to extract the ore. The old timers used to use these ore carts to bring it up out of the tunnels. The ore, the smelting process of the ore is you take these, the raw ore that's chipped out of the tunnels, and it's put through some kind of a crusher. You know, this is a manual crusher, the red one there, and the other one is an electric crusher. But basically, the bottom line is it comes out into this raw powder form in order to be processed. You then mix the powder with equal parts flux. There's 60 grams of concentrate ore and 60 grams of flux in this little crucible here with the spoon in the bottom picture of number 4, and then it's heated to 1,763 degrees, which is the melting point of silver. And once you pour it into the mold and allow it to cool, the cooling process is what separates the silver from the slag, the impurities that are mixed in with the ore. And then you can just, once it's cooled, you can pop it out of the mold and you'll come up with a silver nugget. Remember, we started out with 60 grams of that crushed rock. Well, this nugget here weighed in at 29.8 grams, which means that the ore concentrate was 50% silver. So minting back in the day, Roman times, was done with a mallet and a die. It wasn't really about consistency back then. It was about identification. You knew that you were dealing with silver because it was stamped by the die of the country at the time. Today, we have 2-ton presses that make absolute perfect impressions in the blanks that are put in the die. And, you know, that's where we get our proofs and our MS-70s today, is because we have very accurate printing presses or minting. And so what are real silver coins? Here's 9 of the top coins of a sovereign nation. These are highly recognizable coins that people would trade freely with no questions asked about its authenticity. And we refer to these as 999% fine silver. So what is junk silver? Well, from 1920 to 1964, silver coins sounded different. They felt different because they were made of a silver alloy containing 90% silver. Thanks to an increasing demand, silver was changing economically. Silver coins were highly desired and people started hoarding everyday pocket change and hoping to make a profit. The reason for that is in 1964, the US Mint could no longer continue issuing coins of up to 90% because it was getting close to the spot price. And they didn't want to run into the situation where it was costing more to make the coin than it was worth. There's also a term called debasement. And what debasement was is back in the day, they used to clip edges of the coin to take the taxes of the people back in the day. So there was a term called clipping, and then there was a term called sweating, where they would put multiple coins in a pouch and shake it really, really hard to try to chip off pieces of the coin, which you can see in the second picture there. So that's how they were kind of taking the value away from the coin. And then the third term is plugging, where they would literally punch a hole out of the coin to take some of the value away from the coin. It was, you know, a dishonest practice, but it was a way for them to get obtained wealth in small increments. We would call that fractional investing today. This particular coin was so rare today that it's actually valued at $5.5 million if you were ever to find a plugged penny or a plugged nickel. So be on the lookout for those. And that's where the term comes from, not worth a plugged nickel. And that was the process of punching a hole in the coin. So what are clad coins? In 1965, the Coinage Act was signed, and basically we switched over to where dimes and quarters will no longer contain any silver whatsoever. It is now what we use for our nickels is what's wafered between a core of pure copper. So that's when you look at a quarter or a $50 and you see that copper center, that's called a clad coin. So dealer direct pricing. When we talk about dealer direct pricing, it's where the dealers are getting the coins directly from the mints. They're applying a premium for their profit to manage the distribution channels, and they come up with their retail price. So just be aware that spot is the cost of creating the coin, and the premium is what dealers put on top of spot price to arrive at their retail price. So you can compare retail prices, and based on the spot price of the day, you can calculate what people are charging for their premiums. Bullion versus numismatic. So we talk about our graded coins, the numismatic coins, and what's their value. So if you look at, let's say a silver eagle is worth $40 today, and it costs $10 to ship it off to NGC to get it graded. You pay NGC $30 and you hope for an MS70, but it could be less. They return it, they package it up and return it back to you at the shipping rate of $10, and then we pay a premium to buy a graded coin. And so that's how our basic silver eagles are going for 105 in our basic auto saver program, and that's how that price is arrived at. On what are rare coins? Rare coins are low mintage or limited supply. Like I mentioned earlier, the plugged nickel, right? It's like there's hardly any available in the world today. So that would be a very limited supply, making that a very rare coin. Here are some of our low mintage coins. These coins, based on demand, can drive up the price anywhere to 400 to 700%, which we've been experiencing in recent months. And you're not going to get that kind of a return from any savings account. We have a new marketplace for numismatics coins, and it's called Stack and Sell. And right now it's in beta testing. It'll be coming soon. But what this program is going to do is it's going to give you a dashboard of all of your activities that you have performed against the marketplace here. It'll allow you to store your inventory of your coins, which will be helpful should anything be stolen. You have a third-party source where you can verify that you were actually the owner of that coin because you scanned that serial number into the program. The marketplace will allow people to list their coins that they want to sell. And you can go into the marketplace and select one of these coins and make an offer on it. You have up to 3 offers to make every 6 hours on a particular coin. And if your offer is you'll pay a shipping fee. And if your offer is accepted, you will go through the process of obtaining that coin. And if it's not accepted after 3 offers, you'll see that your offer's been declined and you have to wait 6 hours to bid on it again. It also has an inventory of the offers that you've made so you can see what you were looking for and try for them again in the future. And they've got a great FAQ and support system to help you if you've got any problems with the application. But so far, things seem to be working pretty well. So I don't know if I hit my mark there, Mark, but that's all I got for today, and I'll turn it back over to you.
That's outstanding, Ben. I appreciate that. Let me just ask you a real quick question, because there's a lot of people that sometimes look at the autosaver coins like for 105 or 139, and they'll say, well, I can get silver for that. I can get silver for like $40. Why would I want to pay that? So is that a big reason because of what you're showing here, the value?
Right. This is how we arrive at the value for the 105 autosaver. And the difference is something you can hold in your hand that can eventually degrade and wear down and wear out versus something that's protected and preserved in its mint state condition. And that's what MS-70 is. It's the straight off that 2-ton press, never been touched by human hands, and sealed in a protective case for ever and ever at that particular quality and state.